cosmetology instructors. I wanted to go ahead and share with you my syllabus for this upcoming school year. I do have a video of this I've previously loaded, but I wanted to go ahead and share with you the one for this school year and some of the new things that I've added to it since then. Now, please, new cosmetology instructors or new instructors in general, please know that this is for over, over 13, I believe, years of in the making. Okay, so it's about 36 pages long or so. It's not your typical welcome packet or your syllabus or anything of the sort. It's pretty detailed. Our program at our campus is a 4-year program, so it does have a lot of information, not just from the first year, but all the way through to the 4th year of the program. So it does contain a lot of information. I make sure I tell parents and students everything and as much as I can at the beginning, freshman year, so that way as you're going through the program, nothing is a surprise. They already know this. Okay, so new instructors, you will get here one day. Okay, don't try to get here when it's just your first year, because you need to know your program, know what works, kind of build it and kind of finesse it some with different things and elements that are coming from every which way direction before you can actually get to something like this. So do take your time with it. I'm happy to share it should you need it, but little steps at a time. It is a little bit overwhelming. It is a lot of information, and a lot of the print is small because I need to fit it all in one page at some points. Okay. All right, so I do print this out in black and white for parents and students, but I did have a meeting with students and with parents. So pre-COVID, I would have a meeting in person, but I didn't always have great attendance. Okay, but that was once school started. With time, I went ahead. Now our campus is a campus, it's a campus of choice. So the student has to apply at 8th grade. They come, they tour, they take a look, they want to come, they apply. We do interviews. They have to have the grades, the attendance, the discipline, and all those good points. And we interview them, and then we put them. We select the ones that qualify, that have those prerequisites, and then meet those prerequisites. And then, of course, the counseling office does their part and does all of the numbers and things of the sort, with records, grades, and all of that. So that's kind of the system and the process that we do at our campus. We have students of all kinds, okay, and they come from all over the district, all over the different 8th grade campuses. So we don't take just from one school or from one area or one, it's open. Okay, so all of our students, when they come in, it used to be I would take them just at when they come in the first day, of 9th grade. And then I would do orientation process. Well, that takes a long time. And I remember when I was in school, that took about 3 weeks or so. And so I just wanted to get in there and start cutting hair and start doing things. And so in order for me to do just when the students come in to start learning, start teaching, I need to get these things out of the way, right? The paperwork stuff, the boring stuff. So that way the first day of school, they already have their kit, they have their supplies, they have, their name tags done, they filled out their paper, and we can just go ahead and get started on what they signed up to do, right? Which is cosmetology. So that whole process, I used to do it beginning of school year, but now we do it before the end of their 8th grade year. So to tell you, they get their accepted letter. They say, yes, I do confirm, want to come to CTHS, and then we start the process. We have a welcome night. They get this welcome packet. I schedule now after COVID, which Zoom is amazing. It's definitely a game changer, but I do a mandatory Zoom meeting for parents and students. So the parents and students log on. I do this meeting, I record it, and then I share it through email to all of the applicants that were accepted. So if you didn't make it to the meeting, you at least watch the recording, okay? And that recording is saved, and then I put it in their Schoology, so whoever is a transfer, a new student, or a 10th grader that's coming in as to be in the 9th grade class or whatnot, they can come back and watch that video as well, okay? So that information, all of this information is shared through that Zoom. And so I share this document in an email previous to the Zoom meeting. The Zoom meeting, I go through all of this with the parents and the students and answer questions in both English and Spanish. Okay. Then the students, I give them a paper copy when they come pay their $25 Tdlr fee for their permit, and I give them this copy, and then they sign, the parents sign the very end of it. There's a place for them to sign, and they turn those documents in saying that they agree to what is in this syllabus, this welcome packet. Then I have that, and I have all of that done by June 1st of the previous year. This is their 8th grade year, and then they come 9th grade year, freshman first day, we get started. We do orientation. The first week is team building and all that kind of stuff, the soft skills, and then we start chapter 1, history of cosmetology, that second week of school. Okay, and then we do little mini hands-on activities and such that first week as well. Okay, so this is the welcome packet. I do apologize, my son did get a hold of it already, but let's go ahead and get started with it. It's quite lengthy, so I'll try to go fast. I won't read everything to you, but I'll just kind of share with you what's in it. The first bit of it is I just, made take the logo, put a picture on it. I did the face painting because it's aesthetics, and we focus a skill that I start to focus on with henna and face painting and the coloring pages and all is the art, right? Because you do have to be some kind or some type or at some level an artist to be in cosmetology. So we focus on the face painting and things of the sort, the different skills and techniques needed. Foundation or fundamental or foundational elements of those skills so that they can build upon for the coming years. Okay, so just let them know that this is what the welcome packet is, and that is when it is due. All right, the next page, page 2. This particular page is just a little bit about me, and so that way they know, hey, I give it 110% and I expect that same 110% from you. And so that's just, a little bit about my experience. This is a non-discrimination statement, both in Spanish and in English. I know that this is not an English document, but I just put it in there. But this is a requirement for anything that we send home to the parents. This statement has to be on there. We do not discriminate at PISD. Okay, the next page that we have here, and I didn't number the pages, but this next particular one, this is the first page of the actual syllabus. So the whole packet is a welcome packet, but this is the actual syllabus. So of course it has course information, and this here has my name, my room number, my extension, the remind, the Skillsusa information, social media for our club, which is the Skillsusa chapter, or the Instagram for our page, things of the sort, or my Instagram, and then of course my schedule so the students know when I'm available for tutorials and things of the sort. The next page is going to be the program requirements and rules. Now, anything that is super important, I highlight in yellow, and pretty much that is that each day per Tdlr is worth 20 points. Now, we don't do clock hours anymore because of COVID. We switched to credit hours. We kind of loved it and stuck with it. And so our credit hour system is that every day, Monday through Friday, each day is worth 20 points. For them to obtain their credit hours, they have to have a 75 or above for the semester. In order to obtain that, everything has to be a 75 or above. So every day is worth 20 points. And so that's what this top piece is stating, is that they have to make sure to be there, and that they do get professionalism points taken off, 5 points each for each infraction. So they have to be on point. Of course, we've got the regular grade percentages, and then how their grades are determined by formative and summative assessment. We have a theory and a lab grade, or I take a theory and a lab grade. Okay, make it simple. These are my general rules. My champs, you speak your mind with class, no trashiness. The H for club champs is lead by teaching, follow by learning, and fail by not asking. Create the A is create a solid foundation for your future. The M is move to the music. The P is practice makes perfect, and the S is win, because you are the most prepared person in the room. Okay, and so that applies. Those are my rules, right? That is my applies in the lab, on a field trip, in the classroom, in the collaboration somewhere else on campus. And so these I do have posted on in the classroom. These other rules, they're just general rules, and I do make sure to incorporate rules that follow through with the other instructors as well. We have a junior instructor and a senior instructor, which just means that they teach just those grade levels. I teach the 9th and 10th grade principles and introduction to cosmetology, and these are just general rules. Bullies are a definite no, and then the lab participation is required. Okay, so those are, among others, those are some of the rules there. We have our curriculum that we have online, which of course we use Milady and Schoology. I do use YouTube because I record lessons, and sometimes I have the students watch those lessons, especially if they've been absent. I have a website I do need to revamp, but we have the remind message system, and then of course there are changes to syllabus and any disclaimers. If the student is not to participate for the day, they need a parent note. Okay, if not, they get the 20 points off. And then these are our TEKs, right? This is because we have 6 weeks, and so this is per 6 weeks what the students will be learning in general. Okay, so make sure to cover our TEKs. We have a class website with the QR code. I'm working on revamping this website, but that's some information there. And then we have the YouTube channel, which I just revamped, so that looks a little bit different, but I do use that a lot. And then we have our summer, so that's the syllabus part, right? That's typically what you would get that first week of orientation. So I go over that with the parents and students, so that way they are ready, set to go, and we don't have to spend that time during class the first week of school. All right, sorry, I had to change the battery for the camera. Okay, so the next thing that we have, so that was the syllabus, right? So we're all done with that. Then we have the summer checklist, the things that the students, that's the welcome packet, the part of the welcome packet the students have to do, right? So all of this needs to be done by June 1st. And I like it to be done by June 1st, so that way I have everything prepped, ready, the folders are done, pictures are taken, kits are ordered, permits are in, printed, pictures on it, all in the binder, all of that good stuff. So it helps me have a better start to the beginning of the school year, and I'm not scrambling around like a chicken with its head cut off like I had been for so many years. So I try to do a lot of the work ahead of time, so I can really get to focusing on servicing the students, right? Giving them what they want is to start those hands-on skills, right? And learning about cosmetology. So these are just some of the things that they have to do. They have to read and sign this document, the agreement. They have to make sure to turn it in, sign up for the remind, pay their aesthetics kit, which is $150. They have to make sure to fill out their student permit application, make an appointment so they can purchase their $25 lab fee, and then obviously purchase their classroom supplies and drop those off at the designated time. And so just minor clarifications, we don't, if for Tdlr, it goes straight to Tdlr, and then if they pay their kit online through our online school system, it does add a processing fee that we do not collect. And of course, we don't make money off of the kits. Everything that we collect from them, we spend and we give back to the students. So those things, that's their checklist. Then we have the remind message system. So they have to sign up for that to make sure that they get all of our, for their class, all of the information, like field trips and things of the sort. So this year I added potential field trips, so the students know what to look forward to. I let them know that if you get in trouble, then you don't get to go to these things. And these are things that if everything goes good, if the world behaves, then, like COVID or something crazy doesn't happen, storms or whatnot, then these are the things that you need to look forward to. Okay, so the Image Expo, the Underground Tunnel Salon Tour here in Houston, Discover Green, Paper Green, the Paper Dress Scavenger Hunt. We do photo shoots. If you're an officer, we go to the WLTI. We go to Baybrook salon tours at the Baybrick Mall. Of course, Skillsusa, fall leadership, competition, those kinds of things. Beauty supply tours. We work backstage with Houston Fashion Week. So these are just some things for the students to get excited about. Wow, I'm just in 9th grade and I get to go to these things. Wow, this is amazing, right? So I just want to give them a little sneak peek into some of the things, and it's not all the field trips, but it's just some of the things that we have available. Now, the student must be passing with a 75 or above, and so sometimes we have field trip and they're not passing, like, oh, I don't get to go. Well, I didn't know you had to be passing. Yes, UIL. We follow UIL with everything since intermediate, if not before then. So they have to have a 75 or above. So I just make sure to let them and the parents know as well. All right. Then we have the pathway, the cosmetology pathway dress code. This is for 9th to 12th grade. So I let the parents know if you're going to spend a good dollar on a pair of shoes or a jacket or, scrubs or anything, just know that they're going to wear it for the 4 years. So it's worth whatever it is that you're going to spend for it. So for salon days, they have to have scrubs, either black or this year we're adding white and different shades of purple or violet. Okay, so that is going to be for salon days. You're bending over, you're running around because you're running behind, you're turning sharp corners, there's water spilt on the floor, you get dirty, you get bleach on you, things of the sort. So scrubs, okay? And then for industry days, when we go on field trips, then you need to wear the professional black, right? Black shoes, black socks, black underwear as far as like the bra straps. You don't want a bright pink bra and you have a black shirt, or a white bra and you have a black shirt and you can see the straps. It's very unprofessional. It's not very fashionable unless if that's what you're aiming for. The white sock thing, that's Michael Jackson did a great job of it. But unless if that's what you're going for, it's not a good look. It just does not look professional. So I always make sure to teach the students that this black is our industry color, and when we go out on field trips, unless if it is a certain type of field trip where jeans are accepted, or if it's really hot outside, or we're walking a lot or something, then they can wear something different and we'll let them know what that is. But typically black is it. Okay, so we just make sure that they have a nice black attire for both gentlemen and for ladies. Then if we have Skillsusa, of course, all those, different competitions require specific uniforms. So we have that. And then Spirit Days is jeans and the cosmetology t-shirts that we will have coming out. Of course, jeans with no holes. With the cosmetology official uniform, a lab coat or scrubs or all black. Either one of the three is accepted. I'm going to change it up a little bit more to be more professional this year. I would see, some images of cosmetology students when I was, searching, doing some research, doing some, looking around, and the students really didn't look cosmetology-ish. But then I would see some that look really nice and put together at different schools that, they have a uniform or a lab coat, or they just look like they're in cosmetology. Like the culinary students or the welding students, like who they are because of how they're dressed. And so I wanted to shift our fashion a little bit and make us look a little bit more professional. And so that is kind of a focus that I have for this next school year. So I just kind of put some ideas of different things that you could, wear as far as, scrubs and smocks, lab coats, both for the ladies and the gentlemen. And there are nice ones, but, spa uniforms. But there's also the casual ones as well. Okay, the scrubs that are casual as well. All right, so then, and they do have points off for not being in dress code for the day. So we have the dress code reminder. So these are just regular high school district dress codes. And so our school put that little image out, and so I just kind of added that to it as well. And so those are just reminders that pajamas and flip-flops are not acceptable. Then we have an overview of the program. Go over the 4 years, what the license, when they get their license, what the grades are, how many weeks or modules we have, um, the fees. The district has the scholarship if you meet your hours and meet the deadlines and requirements and things of the sort. Also add the mission statement down there at the bottom. And I had that so that the students know it. They don't come senior year saying, I didn't know that. Yes, you did. You got it 8th grade year, at the end of 8th grade year. And then you signed for it. You and your parents signed. And you got it again your sophomore year. And then you got it again junior and senior year. So you've known this from the beginning. So that way no one is surprised about anything when it comes time for that particular event to occur, like paying for your written exams, okay, or your practicals. All right, so then we talk about here the Tdlr registration system, the $25, what that is, what that goes for, what Tdlr is. And then this particular page talks about what the permit is for, what it looks like, how long is it good for, okay. Is scratched out the student. I just made a copy of it, but it scratched out the student's information on that. And then we have the cosmetology course kits. These are 4 grade levels. This is what they cost roughly, because of course prices change. But all of the items that we purchase, the students get. So we don't make money off of the kits. We don't increase the kits. We just charge them taxes and shipping and handling. We ask the bookkeeper, we say, take her the invoice and say, hey, this is how much each individual kit costs from the manufacturers. We get from our campus, we work with Burmax, which is where I order my 9th grade aesthetics kit and my 10th grade nail kit from. Have been doing so for years. And then we have Mariana and Chi is where the junior and senior teachers order those junior and senior kits from, okay. And then I order some things from Amazon that are just not available, or price-wise, I get more bang for my buck. And of course, we teachers, we completely understand that budget thing. So I let the students know ahead of time so parents are aware that, these fees are coming, okay. Always put a little disclosure at the bottom saying that, subject to change, and so that way if something does change, it's not a surprise, like, oh no, it didn't say anywhere that it will change, okay. Just always cover your back. I've learned that through mistakes. So this is the freshman aesthetics kit, the price and what it includes, in case that a student is like, no, you know what, I want to go ahead and buy it myself. Please do know that if you try to do so, I tell them, it costs more, because we're a school, we get a discount, and so just be very aware. But they can if they want to, or if their mom is an esthetician or cosmetologist or a nail tech and they have supplies, they can bring those as well. It's not 100% mandatory. I can't force them to buy it. Obviously, they need the supplies, and most of them buy it, but I can't force a student to, right? It's just highly, highly recommended for the success in the program. But they can always buy themselves. And the students that do buy always let me know, I should have bought it because it's more expensive. And then they don't have the same things as everybody else, and it makes it more difficult, and it ends up not working out. But it is their choice in the end. All right, so this is a how-to. It's a QR code that sends them directly to the website where they can pay their kit. There is the step-by-step directions on how to do that online payment through our school system. And then we talk about Skillsusa here. I let them know what the different conferences are, round about the conference or event dates, and also to the costs for that, so they are aware that Skillsusa is our CTSO, is something that we highly participate in. The next thing is all of our graduation bling. Okay, so I always tell the students that you want to be decorated. Okay, at graduation, you want all these things hanging from your neck, and you want to clink, 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 clink all the way down the hallway whenever you're doing your last senior walk. where the seniors walk around the halls and everybody comes out and we cheer and there's music and all that great stuff. So we do let them know ahead of time. We do have different stoles and cords and things, Letterman jackets, Letterman jacket patches, and so different things that they have to start at freshman year, start working on, like community service, for example. I offer a lot of that. And so these are the different cords that they're able to get on our campus, the colors, what it's for, and so that way they are aware. And here is the second page of that information. And this is what they can get for cosmetology, right? The district stole, if they get their license, the Letterman patch for Skillsusa participation, the cord for participation in competitions for skills, the stole if they're an officer for Skillsusa, and then the pink cord if they pass, I believe it is their written for their senior year. So then we have a Letterman jacket, how it is that on our campus they're able to get the Letterman jacket, and then we have the patches available. This is the custom one that I created because I didn't love the one that particular business had, but that is the one for CTHS, and these of course skills patches that are here. Okay. The next thing that we have is community service hours, stemmed off of that, letting them know what are some events and activities that are already scheduled that are coming up, so they can see that I do everything I can to help them get these hours for this cord for their graduation, but also too so they can save the date. So I am the social event coordinator for the neighborhood that I live in, and I go ahead and plan all these events, so it kind of works to I guess the benefit of the students, because then they are able to come participate and they get community service hours, and I offer it to everybody on our campus. And so there are different students from different pathways that come out, and so I have a good little group of students that participate in those events. So that I do try to help the students out as well. Pre-COVID, we did a lot of festivals. We'd go to Discovery Green, which is like the big, like Central Park, if you will, of Houston. And we would do events. Face painting is like the hugest thing that we do, and we just, different carnivals and the rodeos and things of the sort. But after COVID, this just kind of dwindled away, but hopefully it'll come back. Okay. Then we have the honors practicum program for our district. This is what they need. Okay, the requirements, and so they can apply the end of their senior in September and their junior year to be in their senior year. But I let them know because what they do freshman year affects them later. So I want to let them know now, hey, your grades, okay, a 70 is passing, but that GPA, that score might not help your GPA. You want higher, so try harder, right, starting freshman level. This is the calendar, so I did a screenshot of the calendar for this school year, so they kind of know those dates and plan ahead. Then we have our classroom supply list. So these are supplies like pens, pencils, paper, that kind of thing that I have the students bring. This includes their binder. And these things, I do have them drop them off by June 1st. The reason being is that I like to have these supplies so that I can see what we have, what came in, how much of it we have, and then what is missing, what do I not have enough of, so I can go ahead and put that in, order that, and put that into, take that into account when I'm trying to work out the budget. And so that way, and then also doing projects. If we didn't get enough of one thing, we'll maybe cut down on some of the cut and paste type of projects, right? And work around that. So hugely important on that aspect. I do that for 9th grade. I don't necessarily do that for my 10th graders, okay? Because they typically don't bring it anyway. And then we have the agreement. So this is where the student and the parent sign that they read this and they agree with everything that is in this welcome packet. Then we have an emergency contact sheet where I know the school has one, but just I have, this information, and so should I need to call somebody, and then, sometimes those numbers that they give the school don't work, so I make it very clear, hey, if you are walking in the salon and there's water on the floor and you turn the corner and you fall and you bust your head open and your bleeding, gushing blood in you can see your brains, and I know that's kind of crazy out there, but just kind of exaggerate the story. If I need to call somebody and that number that the school has is not working, what do I do? Who do I call? And so that's kind of the story I tell on that sense of that information is super, super important. Okay. And then we have video picture permission. Now, I know the district with the student code of contact, when the parents sign that, they sign off that it's okay for their student's picture to be taken at any time, appropriately, obviously, like at the yearbook and things of the sort. But because I do record my YouTube and I do take pictures and post on social media for our Skillsusa Facebook page and our Cosmetology Instagram page and things of the sort, I want to just double, triple, quadruple make sure that the student and the parent is okay with me posting pictures, appropriate pictures related to the content of the students, current students, and then currently using those pictures, and then later on, years down the line, I might go back and, post a picture from like 4 years ago. And so I just want to make sure that I just have peace of mind and I have that okay. The last two things that I have in the packet is just the directions of how to fill out the application for the student permit. And so that I have them, those things that they need to sign, I have those at the very end, so they keep the big front part of the packet, and then they just turn in the last few pages. There's not a lot of sorting. Then what they're going to do, I do give them this pack stapled. Then what they're going to do is they're going to hole punch it and put it in their binder, and it lives in their binder. So that way and when we do a binder check at the beginning of the school year, they have to have this packet, and so teaches them to keep up with things. And so if they ever need to go back and look at something, how to pay something or whatnot, then that information is in their binder. So again, it's a lot. And I was kind of, maybe, how do I say, it's very overwhelming. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of information for the parent and the student to take in one sitting, but it is super important. I've learned this throughout my years. It's super important to make sure that you are very transparent with the student and the parents as far as what does your program consist of? What should they expect? What are your expectations? What it's going to cost, what it's going to take, what are they getting out of this particular this particular program. And so you want to make sure that, because it is an investment on their part, that you're very clear to them, like, look, you need to come to school, you need to come every day, you need to do your work, not only a 70, but a 75 or above. You need to be here every day, it's worth 20 points, And so if you are not transparent and clear and have it in writing with a signature where you can go back and say, the parent's like, oh, I didn't know, and you're like, is this your signature? Did you sign this? Yes? Okay. Then you knew. Or at least you said you knew and you agreed with it. And so I've learned through time that you have to make sure that you are 100% covering yourself from a parent coming back or student coming back saying they didn't know. And so that is how or why my welcome packet, my syllabus is 36 odd pages or so, because of every year something happens, like, oh, I wish I would have told them. And then I write it down in the back of my calendar, and then for the next year when I'm working on my syllabus, like in March or so, I go ahead and add it for the syllabus for the next coming school year. So again, this is a document that is like ever changing because of that, and it will continue to change as things continue to evolve with our program. And of course, it's always for the better. If anything didn't work out, then we just take it out, but for the most part, we just leave it in. And so that is my welcome packet and my syllabus. I take care of this before school even starts, so that way when school starts, we are ready to rock and roll. All right, so that is the syllabus. Thank you so much. This is the 9th grade syllabus welcome packet. I have a sophomore one for my introduction to cosmetology course, but that is has a lot of the same information, but it's thinner. It doesn't go through as much in detail, but it does have a lot of this information in it. Now, a lot of these things like the Letterman jacket and the stolen cords and community service, these things I didn't have last year. These things are new, and so this year's packet will be a little bit thicker than last year simply because I'm adding those elements in. Okay, and those are new. So thank you so much for taking a look at this. If there's any questions you might have, don't hesitate to reach out at any time. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for this continued support. Really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you get notified the next time a video is uploaded to the channel. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.